As good as Wood River planes are, you can always make them better. I prefer to tune mine to the point where it works perfectly. And this is the service that we offer if you're so inclined. First, we start with the body. Now, we make sure that everything is tight, that's obvious. But I like to cut a chamfer all the way around. It serves two purposes. Number one, when you're planing a wide panel, if these edges are really sharp, they'll almost steer the plane and have it going off sideways, whereas I want to be able to go straight forward. Number two, they can be so sharp that if you bump something, it'll leave a little raised bit of metal, which translates into a mark on your wood. So we go in, cut a chamfer all the way around. Then we go in and we address the throat. Sometimes there's a burr left in there, so we take care of that. We file it off the bottom. We maintain this one so that it's perfectly perpendicular to the sole and dress the outside corners as well. Make sure everything works nice and smooth. Have it all set up just right. Now we spend most of our time over here. Start first with the lever cap. We go in and make sure that the underside of the lever cap is nice and flat. We take the chip breaker and we make sure that that is nice and flat. There's a raised lip on here, and I'll show you how that works. And then we go in and we put a back bevel on there, polish it up to 16,000 grit, and same with the secondary and tertiary on the bevel side. When you assemble this, your chip breaker sits on the back of your blade, about a 32nd of an inch away. Now, because of that little raised lip, it only touches out here and back here. So when you put your lever cap on and cock that, the tension applied is transferred to the chip breaker, which is then transferred to the leading edge of the blade, helping to stabilize it. If this is not flat, or if that's not flat, then that pressure might be on the outside corners, gets transferred to the blade, drives them down, and results in plane tracks. So we want that done perfectly. Now I'm going to go through and put this together, and I'll show you how well it'll work. And we test these before we ship them out, so you can be guaranteed that when it comes to you, it is literally going to be ready to go. Put that on. As I said, I get mine to within about a 32nd of an inch of the edge. Snug that up good and tight, because the chip breaker pulls the blade along with it when you're making your adjustments, so you have to have that tight. Set that on there carefully. Make sure that the yoke comes through, and also that the bearing on the lateral adjustment lever fits in that long slot. You want enough pressure on this lever cap so it'll hold everything in place, but not so much that it makes it difficult to adjust. Now, when sighting down the sole, I'll advance the blade. Now I see more blade on the right than I do on the left, so I'll take my lateral adjustment lever and just move that about until the blade appears to be parallel to the sole. But before I start planing, I'll spin that adjuster knob in a counterclockwise rotation to pull the blade all the way in. Put a little bit of wax on there to reduce the friction. Now this is a piece of yellow cedar. Gorgeous wood. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Smells fantastic. As I start to plane, I'm going to start spinning my adjuster knob in a clockwise rotation. And I'm going to sneak up on this, and I want to see where the first bit of shaving comes out. Now it's a little heavy on my left side, so I'm going to go in and make a slight adjustment. The idea is to get a shaving that comes out uniform thickness across its width. Now I've just pulled it back in a little bit, and I've got to make a little more adjustment. A little bit more. Still a little bit heavy. I don't know if you noticed, but it went off to my left, so that means it's still a little bit heavy on the right side. There, that's what we're looking for. Beautiful stuff. That's how we guarantee your plane will work out of the box. If you're interested, do the necessary things online, and we'll take care of it for you.